Ukraine has large agricultural regions, making it a major exporter of barley, corn and wheat. It's often called the breadbasket of Europe, but that's now being put at risk by the conflict. Roman Slaston, the Director General of the Ukraine Agribusiness Club. Thanks ever so much for coming on the programme. But what is the big problem facing farmers in Ukraine right now?
The biggest challenge, of course, is the war, and many farmers actually took weapon in their arms to defend the country. So many of them are on the front line. Pretty big amount. So almost every farmer donated some portion of their stocks for food, for cities which were blocked, and for big cities like Kiev, like Kharkiv, and so on. So they gave for free wheat for flour and bread, sunflower oil, sugar, and so on. What do they have? Another thing is that farmers also help to repair military machinery, military vehicles, Ukrainians, but also those who took from Russians, which they left on the battlefield. And despite all of this, of course, now we have spring seeding campaign, which is just started a week ago, and now is going. Of course, we see that we will not be able to seed all the acreage, all the areas which we used to seed, and we assess that at least 70% of what we usually seed we will be able to plant.
I mean, those are big numbers that you're talking about. I mean, look, the sowing season, as you say, is looking tricky for obvious reasons. What crops really need to be planted now?
So at the moment, farmers plant early spring crops like barley, like peas, like sugar beet, and some other crops. In 1 week, they will go to seeding corn, sunflower, soybeans, and also vegetables. That's for sure. So that's like about timing. But the problem with the seeding, the crucial input lacks. So we lack fuels. So at the moment, like 30% of fuel which is needed, diesel fuel which is needed for the seeding campaign, is here in Ukraine. The rest we are trying to supply from other countries right now. And of course, another big issue is financing, because farmers usually store their crops, grains and oil seeds, and sell it right now in spring. Now they can't do that because the export blocked. So Russians blocked our seaports, and we are capable to export via railway only 15 to 20% what we usually done. So they can't finance the seeding campaign right now. And the big issue, actually, the blockade of the seaports right now. That's not only for Ukraine, but of course for the global food security, because of that we see the rise of prices for wheat, for example, in a few weeks where the price rose 50% and more.
So financing a huge issue for farmers as well, and this, well, it's a global food security issue, isn't it, because of the role Ukraine plays in those global food supply chains. Thank you ever so much for joining us.
Thank you.